Hi, it's Terrence from 3.6. I hope you're having an amazing week. We are in week 5 of our summer planning program, and we are looking at the Upper Peninsula. And this week we're going to cook an item or a treat that is well known up there, known as Mackinac Fudge. So we're going to need a few ingredients. We're going to start off with some sugar, some milk, some salt, some Hershey's cocoa powder, vanilla extract, and some butter. And besides our ingredients, we're going to need a few tools. We're going to need a pot, a pan, some measuring cups, measuring spoons, and some aluminum foil, as well as a ladle or a spoon of some sort. Okay? So our first step is we're going to take our pan here that we're going to eventually put our fudge in, and we're going to line that pan with aluminum foil. Now, I've already tried shooting this video a few times. It's only had some air, so I've already got a little foil out already. So we're going to line our pan, take our aluminum foil, push it in, surrounding the sides. I got a few little gap spots here, so I'm going to take a few extra little pieces, wrap those in there. Those tight on the edges. And then we can move on to our next step. We are going to mix sugar. We're going to mix our cocoa and salt in this pan. And we're going to stir in some milk. We're going to cook it over a medium heat, stirring constantly until the mixture comes to a full rolling boil. So we're going to need sugar. We're going to need 3 cups of that, which is quite a bit of sugar. So this holds 4 cups, and we're going to bring it up to this line right here with the number 3. I can use my little scooper to get it in there, but since we need so much, I'm just going to pour it on in nice and slow, all the way up to that number 3. Once you're getting up there, you want to just kind of stop a little bit and shake it, even it out so it's nice and flat. Just about there. I might want a little over. If you go over, it's all right, as long as it's not wet. You can push it back in. A little at a time, shake it back flat. We're just about there. Number 3. So we need 3 cups of sugar. Cocoa. We need 2/3 of a cup. So this holds 2 cups if we go up to this line, but we only need 2/3 of a cup. So this would be 1 cup. This would be bottom half. We're going to go up to this line right here, 200. With our cocoa powder. Same thing as we were doing with sugar. Slowly kind of pour it in, shake it, get it nice and even. Right up there to that 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder. Back on. We are going to do salt next, and we need 1/8 of a teaspoon. So whenever you're looking at your spoons, you're going to see these spoons. If you notice, they're much different in size. They both say 1, and they have similar letters. This says TB SP. It's hard to read from the other direction. That is a tablespoon. We need 1/8 of a teaspoon. We're looking for TSP, the smaller of the spoons. And we're only going to put a little bit in there. I don't have anything smaller. We do have a 1/4. So I would actually do half of this. This is 1/4 of a teaspoon. So I'm actually going to do 1/2 of this. That would give me my 1/8. I feel like I'm going to overdo it. So not much at all. Half of 1/4 of a teaspoon would be 1/8. we're going to mix these in our saucepan. Here goes our salt. Let's pour in our sugar. And we will mix in our cocoa powder. Stir in milk, cook over medium heat. So we're going to need our milk, and we're going to need 1.5 cups. I'll use the cocoa powder one. There's our 1. Here would be 1.5 right here, between the 3 and the 4. So 1.5 cups of milk. Cook that over a medium heat on the stove. 1.5 cups of milk. So we'll bring this over to the stove over here. We're doing medium heat. My oven or stove, we can do low and high. And if you notice, we have numbers 2, 4, 6, 8 high. So that'd basically be a 10. So if we're gonna go medium, right about between a 4 and a 6, put us at about a 5. Warm that burner up. Start mixing our ingredients, slowly pouring in our milk, stirring that. I need to get a whisk. All right, all our milk's in there. Even thing you gotta be careful with when you're cooking with any type of cocoa or chocolate, it can burn very easily. So it's one of those things where you gotta kind of keep it moving. Don't let it sit on too high of a heat, otherwise you will burn. We want to see how this cocoa powder is hanging out on the top. We want to get that down and below the liquid milk in there. Get that mixed up all nice. Do you enjoy some Mackinac fudge, Miss Leah?
We do.
Did you ever go up to Mackinac Island and buy any?
Yes.
Did you have like a favorite kind at all? Or?
Yes. I like maple walnut.
Mm.
Cookies and cream is pretty good too.
I don't think I've had that.
Chocolate peanut butter, straight vanilla, it's all good.
Okay. I'm not a big fudge person. If you live in southern Michigan, I know Cabela's has a pretty wide selection of fudge.
And if you want to keep it local, the Jackson candy store has fudge.
Even better. Nice.
I believe Gilbert's chocolate does too.
Were we just in a place in Jackson the other day that had some?
The Blue Julep?
The Blue Julep. They had some, correct?
I'm not sure. I was just enamored with their cupcakes.
That looks good too. All right, so we're gonna mix that. Let me pull my directions up again real quick. We want to bring this to a, what do they say, a rolling boil. So we've mixed our sugar, cocoa, and salt in a heavy 4-quart saucepan, stirred in the milk. We're cooking it over a medium heat, stirring constantly until mixture comes to a full boil. So kind of like cooking a roux. You want to keep this thing moving. Okay, so we'll come back in a few minutes once this thing comes to a boil, and we'll continue from there. So we're at a boil now, and I'm actually going to be careful. This thing's about to boil over. So we're going to remove this from the heat a little bit, let that simmer down. We're actually supposed to let this get to 234 degrees on a candy thermometer. I don't have a candy thermometer, and many people probably don't either. I'm trying to keep this moving and stirring. They say this is one of the hardest things to make on their webpage, and this is from Hershey, like Hershey.com. I'll share that recipe with all of you. So I'm kind of moving this, I'm still stirring it so we don't burn anything. If you don't have a candy thermometer, one of the tricks they said you could do is use a small amount of the mixture and drop it into some very cold water. And it forms a soft ball which flattens when removed from water. So I've got some ice water over here. I'm going to leave the ice out of this though. And I am going to just let a little drop in here and see what happens. Does not form into a ball. This recipe and show might not come out the way I expect. It's be fair, I've never made this before, so don't judge me too much. Let's see. All right, so we're boiling, and we were going to add some butter and some vanilla extract here. Let's get that boiling again real quick. Leave that ladle in there. So we're going to need a 1/4 cup of butter, which is actually a half a stick cut in, or a full stick of butter cut in half. Right there, 4 tablespoons, which is 4 of those, equal a 1/4 cup. And we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm trying to monitor this. We gotta keep this stirring. I gotta multitask here. We don't want to burn this chocolate. Keep that moving. All right, let's get our extract in there. And it actually says not to stir it once we add this in. Same thing with the butter. You just let it melt. Okay, so 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. It's going to give it that flavor, that vanilla flavor. Ooh.
Looks like lava.
Right? Wasn't expecting that. And then we're just going to take this 1/4 stick of butter that is not melted. We're going to drop that in there. I'm going to pull my ladle out. And we're going to remove it from the heat. So we're going to turn that burner off. I'm going to slide this over here where there is no heat. Try not to make a mess in my kitchen at the same time. Alright, so next our directions say let that sit. Let's see, remove from heat, add butter and vanilla. We did that. Do not stir. Cool at room temperature to 110 degrees Fahrenheit, which is lukewarm. And then we're going to beat it with a wooden spoon until fudge thickens and just begins to lose some of its gloss. Quickly spread into prepared pan that we have over there with our foil, and then cool it completely. So we're going to come back in a little bit once we let this cool to 110 degrees. Again, I don't have a thermometer, so we're spitballing here. Okay, we're going to be eyeballing some things, and I'm going to dig around. I might have one, so we'll find out. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, so we've got our fudge or chocolate mixture over here, getting down to 110 degrees. At least we estimate. I did my finger in it. It didn't burn me, so I think we're about there. So before we pour this into our pan, we're going to have to beat it. But we're also going to want to take another stick of butter, and we're going to want to grease these sides of the foil so that way it doesn't stick. It is not spreading as well as I thought it would.
We have spray.
So I'm thinking about doing that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to butter it, just because the Paul Dean in me is coming out. And I'm going to spray a little spray in there just to be safe. Alright, so we got that. I'll wash my hands real quick.
I will get you the cooking
I
spray.
appreciate you.
Let's see. Cooking spray.
Thank you.
In here. Pam.
That's going to make it so it doesn't stick. Those sides, they say you only need a little spritz, but I don't conserve when it comes to cooking spray or butter. Alright, they say to beat this with a wooden spoon. Again, just like the candy thermometer, I don't have a wooden spoon. We're going to beat this, meaning stir it. I had something else in mind when I was reading the directions. I was thinking I was going to have to, but I just was breaking in a baseball glove yesterday, so it kind of stuck with me. So we remove from the heat. We're going to beat with the wooden spoon or the spatula I have until the fudge thickens and just begins to lose some of its gloss. And then we're going to quickly spread it into the pan, and we're going to let it cool completely. Okay. It's not really thickening up on me. This is going to be a fail cook. I'm still going to upload it.
That's how you learn best.
It is.
Through trial and error.
Make your mistakes, and the next time you do it, you can try something different. Okay?
Buy a candy thermometer.
That probably helped the most. Alright, so we'll take this And we're gonna let it cool a few more minutes and we'll come back. So I think it'll help thicken it up. Okay. All right, so we've cooled down a few more minutes here. We're gonna take this, give it one last little spin. It's about as thick as we're getting here. Take that ladle out. Just put that in the sink to wash it. We're gonna take this over to our greased pan. Carefully pour it in, make sure we don't splatter or spill. It's pretty soft. But I think with time it'll thicken up, harden
As it cools.
as it cools, and we will see what our finished product looks like. Alright. So I'm gonna let that sit out for a while. And it might be an hour, it might be 2, I don't know. It didn't say in there, it just says let it cool completely. So we will come back in a few and check out and see what our finished product looks like. So it is the next day. I have let this sit out on the counter for a few hours and it was still very liquidy. So I decided to throw it in the fridge to let it cool down. And after a few hours in there, it was starting to firm up on the top, but still liquidy. So I've left it in the fridge overnight, and we are basically left with Hershey's syrup and not fudge. So instead of making fudge, we have Hershey's syrup. So I failed, and we'll have to try this again. Enjoy. Let's see if you guys successfully made it. Send some pictures and videos of your recipe